Hey guys, Dankler Supremes at your service. How are you all doing today? I hope you are all having a fantastic day. As of today, fortunately, we will be reviewing our next Yu-Gi-Oh set and the second set that has been released in this game's history, and that set is called Metal Raiders. Now, Metal Raiders tends to be the icebreakers of Lub's Vanilla Deluxe ice creams and future releases of Yu-Gi-Oh sets that will define the rise of effect monsters. Think of Metal Raiders as like a mix of vanilla and chocolate ice cream. If you are an ice cream enthusiast like myself, you know that's really good. However, is Metal Raiders a good set? Better than Lob? Let's find out. Metal Raiders was released in June of 2002, 3 months after the release of Lob, and this set introduced us to many new toys for us to play with. As I mentioned before in my Lob Top 10 video, Black Skull Dragon is actually one of my favorite fusion monsters of all time. He is in fact the cover boy of this set, and it looks awesome. So let's talk about those cards, shall we? And one of those notable cards is Summon Skull, a 25 attack 6-star vanilla beatstick that was highly considered as one of the best one tribute monsters in the earlier stages of the game. However, this card was also available earlier in the Yu-Gi starter deck that was released on late March of 2002. However, if you really want to pull a shiny, super rare Summon Skull, you definitely had to get it off from Metal Raiders. Mask of Darkness and Magician of Fate were in fact during that time the best recovery cards in the game. Mask of Darkness, which is the flip effect monster, allows you to recover one trap card from your graveyard and add it to your hand, in which Magician of Fate does it for spells, and those effects were really powerful. Being able to retrieve a Monster Reborn or a Mirror Force was in fact game breaking. Well, not like broken, but during that time when the game was slow, it was still slow at this state, obviously 2002. Those effects were actually extremely powerful, and it just made these cards more valuable because you're able to get those cards back from the graveyard. Such cards like White Magical Hat and Robin Goblin were actually one of the very first hand control based cards in this game's history, with rather simple effects. White Magical Hat just simply has to inflict battle damage to you. However, it only has a melee and 1000 attack, but if it's able to inflict battle damage to your opponent will have to randomly discard a card from their hand. The same thing can be said about Robin Goblet, even though it's a continuous trap, but it was very effective for these cards to have simple effects. Really effective. Heavy Storm was a force to be reckoned, as it can destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. How about Gate Guardian, guys? A monster you need 2 tribute monsters just to bring this guy up. Okay, he's strong, but to bring these other 3 monsters, also their names are Suijin, Kaisjin, and Sanga of the Thunder, all level 7 monsters. And back in the day, like I mentioned before, tribute summoning was a feat to pull off because it was still pretty darn difficult to actually have even 1 or 2 monsters in the field. And to get those 2 tribute monsters, it was a pain in the ass, literally. But yeah, this card is kind of valuable. Props to that. And don't get me started with Great Moth. Change of Heart, allowing us to take control of our opponent's monsters, the first of its kind. Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest, perhaps one of the best searcher floaters in this game's history. Sangan, which allows you to search a monster with 1500 attack or less, and Witch of the Black Forest, which allows you to search a monster with 1500 defense or less. And Harpies boobies, I mean harpy ladies. Boobies! And we also have Karibo, one of the very first hand traps of this game. Metal Raiders is responsible for introducing us to 2 extremely powerful trap cards, Mirror Force and Solemn Judgment. Mirror Force will always be that revolutionary battle trap. And as for Solemn Judgment, a card that can negate an activation of a spell, trap, or monster summon, and is still highly considered as one of the most powerful trap cards in this game. Counter traps, that is. Alongside Solemn Judgment, he also has 7 Tools of the Bandit and Magic Jammers, which introduced us to a new mechanic called Counter Traps. 7 Tools of the Bandit, in which you could use it to negate any trap card by simply paying 1000 life points, and Magic Jammer, which enables you to negate any spell card by discarding 1 card as a cost. So with all that being said, what do I think about Metal Raiders as a set? For the pros, we were introduced to a bunch of new and powerful spell and trap cards, including the introduction of counter traps, a variety of effect monsters that would push us away from using just pure vanilla monsters for beat sticks, and for releasing more fan favorite cards such as Time Wizard, Harpy Lady, Summon Skull, just to name a few. And as for cons, there's still a lot of puny, worthless vanilla and effect monsters introduced in the set. Other than that, there's no big negatives to be said about this set. Therefore, I will give Metal Raiders a solid 8 out of 10. It's a really good set. If you guys look forward to actually buy the set for nostalgic reasons or for the value, go for it. It's really worth the money in my opinion. And like I said before in the Legend of the Blue Eyes White Dragon set review, honestly, because when I gave it a 7 out of 10, I don't mean that the set is terrible or mediocre. I just think that other sets, future sets such as Metal Raiders, were complete upgrades of what that set were to be. And we have to understand one thing, the game was still evolving during that time, slowly but effectively. But yeah guys, that will be my review and what I think about this set personally. The game was still relatively young at this stage, so there's nothing much of a change, an aspect in the meta that has changed drastically. So for the next set, we will review Magic Ruler, or as how they call it today due to the name change to Spell Ruler. And I will let you guys know why they changed the name in the next segment. So I want to know guys, what do you think about this set? What do you think about Metal Raiders and the cards that came out along with it? And is there a particular card that you actually love from this set? Like a monster, spell, or trap? Name it down in the comment section below. Do you have any profound memories that you would love to share? Go ahead. You can also drop that in the comment section below. Oh, I also forgot to mention about this earlier. Aside Black Skull Dragon, I also loved Labyrinth Tank. It was a 24 attack and defense dark machine type monster, so it was a fusion, and I loved the design of that card, and I always kept it. I never played it though, but I always kept that card because it looked so cool. And back in 4th grade, I was like, I really loved that card. It really takes me back. And if you enjoy watching this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I deeply appreciate your support in order to offer you more enjoyable content. We will rise together, yeah! This has been Danklord Supremes, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.